up, everybody? It's Razor coming at you with another Dark Souls video. Right here we're just going to be checking the stats, because I do believe that they changed from the last video, which is when we took on the Capra Demon, I believe, or the Bell Gargoyle. It's been a while. It's been like 3 weeks since I uploaded, mostly because I've been busy with school. I just started my sophomore year of high school about 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks ago. Yeah, almost 4 weeks ago, and it's been good. And then wrestling conditioning started last week, and I've been busy with that because I get home a little bit later, about an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours later, and we do a lot of running. And for the first few days, my legs hurt a lot, but now I don't feel them, either because they're numbed or yeah. But what we're doing here is, as I said in the first video, I said that you could go back to the Northern Undead Asylum. That is what we're going to be doing. You're going to want to roll off that ledge onto this pillar, and then walk up this little bridge-like thing into this tower. Now, when I first recorded this, I forgot to actually get the key, because I thought the master key would work. The item right down there is the key that you want to get. I do go back and get it later. You just want to roll off the top of that tower, and I believe you don't actually have to go on top of the tower to get it. I think there's another area you can roll off of without going on top of the tower. Yeah, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going back to the Northern Undead Asylum. How you do this is you climb to the top of the tower after you roll off of the ledge, which you can get to by going out to the elevator, and then you go to this nest and you press A to curl up into a ball, and you basically act like an egg. After the time, which sometimes it can take a while, sometimes it's short, the raven or crow or whatever type of bird of it is will come and pick you up, and it will bring you back to the Northern Undead Asylum. Now, there is a lot of cuts in this video because of what we're going to be doing. We do get the Rusted Iron Ring and the Crest Shield in the Northern Undead Asylum. If you couldn't tell, this is post-commentary. The Crest Shield reason being is because the next boss that we're going to fight isn't a necessary one, but it uses, actually, I was going to say primarily, but it only uses magic attacks, and the Crest Shield, I believe, has a, I want to say an 80% magic reduction, and I had to make a bit of a cut in like a few seconds because I had to go get some batteries from my controller because it was dying. But yeah, so it uses mostly magic, and then after we're done with this Undead Asylum, we will be going into one of the next areas, which we don't really go that far into it. I'll probably finish up because the area is quite large, and there's areas that are big, but I'll be able to complete quicker. It's just that this has many branching paths that I can explore later, because they, I guess, segue better with them. I'm just going to be going up, I guess, the middle path, because I guess there's a left and a right, and then a middle, kind of how the map is arranged. It makes much more sense when you actually go through the area, but I'm going to take the middle path because that's the path that I want to go on for the boss that's there now, and then there's another boss in the area, which I will show the other two ways, because there's some other cool stuff. And since I have the DLC for this game, which I still have not beaten, we have to actually take another one of those paths in order to kill someone who will allow us to go into the DLC, and then we have to go there to go into the DLC anyways. So I'm still going to be covering those paths. I'm going to be covering most of pretty much all of the side areas, but I won't be covering full areas, because that would take so much time and just be so stressful to go like all throughout Blighttown or the Demon Ruins, and would have like such a little amount of reward to it that it isn't really useful. But I will make note of interesting stuff. I did not even remember that boulder comes back, but yeah. So I'm gonna kill that guy. Then I realized that because the Undead Asylum changes from when you first like come here. There's more enemies, and they're different, they're harder. And so right here, I'm trying to think of if I should fight the knight who we killed in here before. I think I just stabbed him. He comes back as he's hollowed, and you have to fight him. And once you kill him, he will give you the Crest Shield. Now his sword has some type of attribute to it where it still causes damage to you. It's a very little amount, but if he hits you and your shield's down, it does a Actually, I think he does hit me even when I have my shield down. It doesn't even do that much that much damage. So I don't even know why I thought he was that difficult in the first place. And once you kill this guy, he will give you the Crest Shield, which is a pretty good shield. Because it does, I believe, 80% magic reduction, as I said. Which a lot of the shields in the game, if they have a lot of reduction of an element, they generally sacrifice the physical reduction. So you can have a sword that's like does pretty decent magic, but then it won't be 100% physical reduction. Since most enemies in this game do physical attacks and other magic attacks are relatively easy to dodge, it's a really good shield because you still got that 100% physical damage reduction, and then you have that 80% magic. There's also another shield called, well, I'm not going to get into it because we're going to get later in the game, and it's going to be a shield I am going to be using basically in the last episode of the game. Those of you who have played this game know what shield I'm talking about because it's so useful for the final 5 of the game because it has a ridiculously high reduction of a certain element that if I were to say, it'd probably give it away. But I am going to be using that shield because that shield makes the final 5 of the game so much easier. And it saved my ass many, many times. Also, if you come back to that Undead Asylum, there is a new boss, which is why when I go through that middle building where we fought the Asylum Demon, I don't go through the middle. Because if you do, the floor will break and you have to fight another boss, which I'm going to make look like such a stupid boss. But here we go, and we are getting the key because I went to try to go to the gate before with the key, and it did not work. Now we're coming back up where we did the jump attack on the Asylum Demon, or that little area that led to the area where we fought him. And all the enemies are there, you just gotta kill them. Oh, I guess I already killed them because I didn't take a bonfire, because I didn't respawn. But right here is the gate, and it's gonna open up with the key that we just got, and it's gonna lead to a very useful item called the Rusted Iron Ring, or I believe it's Rusted Iron. Yeah, it's Rusted Iron Ring. See right here? Yes, Rusted Iron Ring. Now, the effect that the Rusted Iron Ring has is that it allows you to move through difficult terrain more easily. And in the next area, or the next necessary area to beat the game is, it has a lot of terrain. I almost went in the middle and almost activated the boss fight, which would have been really bad. But the next boss that we're going to fight, or area, has a lot of difficult terrain to move through, and not only does it slow you down, but it can poison you, and that is really annoying. So I got that so I could run through it much more quickly. It allows you to run at the same speed as you would through regular terrain. This also works for water, and I believe that's the only other terrain that slows you down. There's another type of terrain that we can cross, but again, saying what it is kind of ruins a cool feature of the game, and kind of ruins what happens later in the game, and I don't really want to do that. Here we are at the blacksmith, Mr. something, Andre the blacksmith, and I'm showing that we can now use the Zoolander, I don't know what it's called, the big sword that we got at the beginning of the game. I finally upgraded my character, so now we have 24 strength, and this is going to be the weapon that we're using for most of the game. Now, again, at the end of the game, there will probably be another weapon that I'm going to be using, just because I like it so much. As I said, I like the Black Knight Greatsword a lot, but there is another weapon that I find just to be so much better because it is so powerful. And it's not necessarily the most powerful weapon, although I think it really is up there. It's just that the effect that it has is so great, and it's really it's not even a special ability of the weapon, it's just how the weapon is used. I mean, eventually, like, using one of these big swords that I have right now, like the Zoolander, when you hit an enemy oh so much, they will flinch, and it will fall back. The Zoolander has a special effect on it. It's heavy attack that will knock the enemy down. That takes a while to use because you have to pull it back, and then the attack takes a while to actually execute. And then some weapons, when you just use regular attacks, it can make them flinch, but it takes a while, and the Zoolander is a heavy weapon. There's another weapon that's not as heavy, does, I believe, I want to say more damage, once it's fully upgraded, like if you had your parameters all the way up and you had it fully upgraded for both weapons, I believe this weapon does do more damage. And even on the third playthrough, it only takes about 2 hits to make most enemies flinch that aren't a ridiculous size. Now right there, that's the Titanite demon. If you kill them, they give you different types of Titanite. I don't know if it's pronounced Titanite or Titanite. Maybe one of you guys know. I don't know. Titanite is used to upgrade your weapons. There's different types, ranging from Titanite chunks to blue Titanite slabs to twinkling Titanite and to dragon scales. So there's a bunch of different types. Now the reason, although the Drake sword is more powerful than the Zweelander, dragon scales are extremely hard to find. They're not the easiest thing to find, so upgrading this weapon is just a lot more easier than that. Plus I can upgrade it more and it'll just become eventually just much more stronger. These guys, I believe this enemy is called demon foliage actually. They're just plants. They have a bunch of different little attacks. You can really tell what type of attack they're going to use. If they try to attack you with 2 hands, they're either going to try to suck you in, or they're going to hit you with both vines, or they'll attack with 1 vine. If they suck you in, they will start to do a decent amount of damage to you, and you have to get out. I believe the one behind me tries to do that. Can I call the play? Maybe I hit him. That was the attack I was trying to show you. And he goes to suck me in right there. I dodge back, and then I finish him off. I showed the attack. It makes them fall down. But the reason I like to make the enemies flinch, and that's why I would use the other weapon, is because the final boss of the game is very, very fast. And a few of these bosses are going to make me look like I suck at this game, and I'm going to make a few of the bosses in this game look like jokes. One of them is going to be the final boss of the game, hopefully, if I can do it right, because I've done it on other playthroughs, and a boss at the asylum. Now I look over here as I try to show you. There is a bonfire behind this wall, and there's no obvious way of getting there. But this introduces illusion doors, or I believe that's their full name, which are doors that if you hit or or roll through them, they will open up and lead to special areas. But that's it for me, guys. We're at the bonfire. We're gonna continue this episode or our trek next time, and I guys hope you guys enjoyed. Please like and subscribe.